Hey, this is Eva from the advising office. I am joining you now to go over some information that you might be curious about regarding fall and CTC and what we're doing. So I just want to first of all welcome you if you're joining us virtually. It's great to have you here. And I just hope that you get a lot of great information from this. You can always type in a question if you have one, and we'll address those questions at the end. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and just give you some general information about what's going on for this fall. So, and also it's going to tie into, what we're doing right now to slowly reopen our campus. So you may have seen some information out there about campus reopening. I'm going to show you some websites later. But just so you're aware, if you do come on campus with an appointment to visit an office, you will be required to wear a mask. So make sure you do have one in your car when you get here so that you can be in compliance with that. We will not be taking walk-ins for appointments or anything like that to see offices. It will all be appointment only, no walk-ins. If you're curious about what's going to be going on for the fall semester, it is currently out there for registration. And again, I'm going to go through some of that information later as far as registration. But the classes are going to be blended for this fall. So there will be a classroom and online component for all fall classes taught at Central Campus. So you'll be able to have that class time component for your courses where you're meeting with your classmates and your instructor in person, but there'll also be online content for you to complete. At the Thanksgiving break in November, once we break for Thanksgiving, everything will move to straight online so that you won't be coming back to campus after the Thanksgiving holiday break. So let me just go ahead and share my web browser here and get going on some of this information that you're probably the most curious about. So I just took us straight to our homepage that you can see here on the screen. And so the URL is ctcd.edu. So when you're on our homepage, the biggest thing we want to make sure is students know what's going on and you're informed about our return to campus. So right above the Apply Now Request Info area at the top, you can see that COVID-19 return to campus. So I'm going to go ahead and click on over there. And this is going to give you a lot of great messages and updates from our administration, return to campus information, health and safety protocols, and then resources. So as you're going through all of this, make sure you give this a glance over. It probably could answer a question that you may have. You can also always use our Google. If you have a specific and you can't find it, you can always use the Google search here to type in something by keyword to see if it can pinpoint you more closely to what you need. So make sure you do look at all of this information as you're planning on coming back to campus. We do want to stress that all of our virtual resources are still available. So if you are needing to contact the financial aid or the advising office or admissions, whatever the case may be, you're going to be able to do phone, email, and live chat. At any time during our return to campus, the fall semester, that's all going to be continuing services for students. If you feel more comfortable being at home and getting the resources and the help you need, then we want to provide that to you. So we've got that set up already. If, I know some folks are going to feel more comfortable coming on campus. Again, you will need that appointment to do so, to get services. You're not just going to be able to walk in and get the service the same day that you might have been accustomed to in the past. But, that you can check out the different pages for whatever office you're needing to see about setting up an appointment. So each office, I just want to kind of give you in general, each office will be briefing you if you make an appointment with them about their particular protocols, how they're going to let you into the building, what you need to come prepared for, and reminding you about the mask policy, things of that nature. So you will get that information directly from whatever office you are scheduling with. Let me just go ahead and start with the advising side, since that's what I do, and then we'll move on to some of the other services that you can go through. Before I do that, let me just give you a brief update if you haven't seen the announcement about it. When you do come back on campus, Building 119 was previously known as Student Services. It has been renamed as the Enrollment Center. and that name is out there on the sign in front of our building. And it's also on the marquees outside of our campus entrance, at the beginning of our campus entrance. So Building 119 Enrollment Center, and we're still getting used to that as well, but we'll just make sure you have that. Building 111, which is next door to us, which houses financial aid and veteran services and the testing center, as well as a few other offices. Those are going to be, that building is now student services. It was previously systems services. So you will see that sign out of their building as well. All right, that being said, I'm going to take you over to the advising. So under students and current students, you can click on more resources. And then you'll be able to see all of the different offices that we have for students, for CTC current students. Academic advising, because we start with an A, we're right here at the top. So this is our page. As a reminder, right now during the summer, we are still closed. The campus is closed through August 14th on Fridays. Student services will return on the 14th, so we're only staying closed through the 7th. So this is the information you can get. Again, you can go and get help through live chat. So if you're a Texas student, you can click here. If you're out of state, you can click here to get to the correct office. And then here is all the information you will need to start making appointments if you need to with your advising offices. So again, it's listed by the type of student, and then the information is across here. So if you are in Texas and you're wanting to come and make an appointment with us, you're going to have an option to make that appointment in person or by virtual, and virtual of your choice, phone or a WebEx, such as we're doing now. We highly encourage the virtual appointments for whatever office you're working with to minimize the chance of any spread of COVID-19. So please check that out and see what would work best for you and your schedule. You'll be able to click that link to schedule the appointment, and then for our international students, if you need to make an appointment with Rebecca, she's going to be available to meet with you. And you can schedule that through phone or email. And as well as for our Kate Center students or career and technical education programs, you can make an appointment with an advisor at this email and phone here. And they are going to be having live chats coming soon as we get that set up. So you'll be able to connect with any of the advising offices through all of those methods. And then, of course, if you are a distance learning student and you're not located here in Texas, you would want to connect with the Eagles on Call office. And they are open Monday through Thursday for summer hours right now, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. And you can chat, email, or call during those hours. They are staffed. We are operating in July at a limited, if you look at the reopen plan, we are operating on a limited return to campus. So some staff are working remotely, some staff are working home. So if you're calling in to campus and you experience a delay, I just want to mention, if you experience that delay, you can always opt to send the request through email or stay on the line. But just keep in mind, as we're slowly bringing students or staff back onto campus, that offices are there and answering the phone, but it could be limited during certain hours. We're trying to make sure we serve you the best way possible, and following with the policies that we've been given about how many staff can be on campus. So real quick, let me go ahead and just make sure everybody saw where we got to this. So this page lives under current students. Click on more resources, and then once you do, you'll be able to click the academic advising link and see this information here. All right. There's also, see, I refreshed. Somebody's been working. I've got little elves helping me. So you can also look at our booking policy, which is going to give you the information you need to know about what to expect when you come on campus. One thing that will be in place is, you won't be able to bring a guest with you to your appointment. It will be just the student who would need to come. Again, each office will have certain guidelines. If you are working with something where you need a parent for a signature for some paperwork, that would be allowed. but in general, no guest at the appointment. Those, if you are unable to, meet that requirement, you would need to schedule virtually in order to comply with our requests. So I am I'll come back to that if we have any questions later on, of course, but I'm going to move on. And I know a lot of folks have questions about, testing right now, which the testing center is now taking appointments. So I'm going to move over to their page. And so again, you can go there's several ways to get to theirs. They're under student resources here under testing services. You can also click on current students and more resources. And testing is also listed there. All right, so they've got a lot of information. They are open for limited, again, space. We have to make sure everybody's socially distanced and whatnot. So the space is going to be limited. So we understand not everyone will be able to test at the time they want. So if you are struggling to make an appointment for the TSI assessment and you're not going to be able to get that completed, that's okay. I want to let you know you can still come and take classes for this semester, for either summer or fall, to get you going. We have an alternate way to assess and make sure you're in the right courses. So get with your advisor on that. But basically, I just wanted to show you where this page was. You can come here and read more information about how to set up an appointment for a test should you need that. The financial aid page also has, which is under students. I'm so sorry. I forget to tell people what I'm doing. So under students, current students, it's the first one. So I've clicked on the financial aid page. We're working on getting all of our websites updated this week, but they are scheduling appointments. I talked to the director this morning and she said that is good to go. You can email, you can call, or you can chat to schedule an appointment if you need to meet with the financial aid department. Again, if you don't need to meet in person and you can do everything through an email or submitting documents online through eTrieve, great. They're going to work with you whatever you need to get everything going for your financial aid. As a reminder, if you haven't applied for fall financial aid and you're a current student, get your application in. The fall 2020 and spring 2021 application is open, has been open for a while for you to submit your financial aid application. So if you haven't done that, make sure you get that in so that you can be ready to go for fall. Work with the financial aid office to make sure everything is on file by the time you want to register. Okay. Veteran services also, they are going to be, again, students, more resources. Their information, I apologize. Let me go here. Students and military veterans. I forget they live under their own area there. So they've got their live chat on their page, and then their hours are listed, and you can explore their page to get more information about how to reach out to them. They are going to be also scheduling appointments. You can call or email them or live chat, hit them up on live chat to schedule that if you needed to bring in your documents. Again, you can do everything online, but the appointment will be there. And I apologize if I didn't mention this, the appointments for veteran services, financial aid, and advising are all available for scheduling right now, and they begin July 6th, which is next Monday. Kind of started in the middle, so I apologize, but if you haven't applied yet, your first step is to hit the Apply Now button and fill out the application. So if you're curious about how to start, that's your very first step. If you are a returning student or a student who's having, you've been out of taking classes for 12 months and you had to resubmit an application recently and you're needing to get in contact with the admissions office, you can always contact them under prospective students. And you can explore this page for information about getting started. But once you do apply, You can get with the admissions office to schedule an appointment should there be anything that you need to turn in for residency, making sure you're getting the correct tuition rate for your courses. So their information, I am just going to show you how this works. So I'm going to Google their page. So they're under admissions and registration. And so you can get their contact information here, their email, and read more information about getting started if you're a new student and what is required. So go ahead and contact these offices if you need to. If you're not sure how to get to an office, but you remembered advising, contact us. We'll get you the right place. Vice versa, if you contact admissions but you need advising, they're going to make sure you get to the right place. So just make sure you reach out if you have any questions as you're going through this process, and we'll be contacting you as well with emails throughout the process. But we really just want to encourage you to do whatever you can do from online. So I want to mention Web Advisor registration. So I'm going to go back to our homepage. All right. So under our toolbar here at the top of the page, you're going to see the student tools area. And again, we've got the link to COVID-19 return to campus pretty much everywhere. So it's right here too. But you can also go to Web Advisor. And if you have applied, you'll have a login where you can log in. I'm going to do a guest search right now to show you how to search for classes rather than logging in. So I'm going to do a self-service search for sections and just show you what it's like to look for a course. So, and again, there's information up here at the top. Keep in mind that you will have different requirements for the type of courses. So it kind of mentions that here, vocational technical programs that require hands-on, the allied health, if you're in a lab or practicum setting, you're going to have that capability to come on campus and complete your information, your course, what you're doing in your course on campus. But there might be some online component to it, depending on what the course is. Your instructor will give you that information. All right, so if you're needing to see what's out there and just look for a class, I'm going to search for history, U.S. History 1301. And you can search using just history or however, whatever. If you know the course, you can click right on it. You can go to the course catalog. Once you have a class that you search for, always use your filters. I'm gonna highlight that one. Your filter options are your friends. So if you know you're wanting to take a class fully online, you can click on distance learning. It's gonna filter all your courses. Go ahead and filter it by the semester, fall 2020, and it's gonna show you the result for History 1301. So once you open the drop-down box here where you can view available sections, you can start finding what you need. So here's a great example. When you're looking at courses, you always want to look at the date range, and the seats. Those are the first two things I always look for. So this first one with Professor Bush is full, and you've got the next one with Professor Greer has 13 seats. So if you see that 0, it's already, that's really the first thing you should look at. Once you see the section that you want, and maybe you want an 8-week class, so you don't want a class that runs from August to December, you want something that runs from August to October. Just keep scrolling on down, and there's a lot of sections, so there might be a little bit to look through, but you can scroll down and find August to October. You can also go back up, and you can use your filters to filter by instruction type, day of the week, time, if you were looking for classroom. So there's lots of things you can do to filter through this and look for it and find what you're looking for. Just wanted to give you an overview of what it looks like on your Web Advisor when you're enrolling. And while I looked as a guest, if you log in and do this as a student, you will be able to, it's going to look when you're searching for classes the same as this page. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to search for a central campus class. So I'm going to unselect the distance learning, and I'm going to change it to central campus. So once you filtered by there, And again, you can further refine your search by the days of the week, the instructor, the time range, however you want to do that. So you'll notice, again, we want to look for seats. That's great. This class is Monday, Wednesday. Oh, it's early. That's a good one. Just get in, get done. So 7:30 to 8:50. And you'll notice down here under the location of the class, it does mention online blended. You'll notice all of our classroom courses are going to say that based on what I was mentioning earlier at the beginning. You're going to have that online component for all of your courses as well as your classroom time frame. So hopefully this has been helpful as far as showing you what it looks like to search for classes, some information about what's going on for the fall, and currently right now with campuses reopening this month, well, end of June, beginning of July. Let me go ahead and get back over to our homepage here. If I need to show anybody anything else, I think there was a question that came through. I'm gonna try to get back to where that was. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for just a second so I can get back to the chat feature. So let's see here. So one of the questions somebody mentioned earlier was, how do we register and pay for a class if it says we are only allowed to take it twice? If you are taking a class for the third time, you will be required to fill out the registration form, and you can do that several different ways. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here in a moment and show you how to log in and fill out a registration form online. When you take a class for the third time, it doesn't let you register for it in Web Advisor. It's going to require you to go through our records office. So let me go back to sharing my web browser here and get back over here. So I showed you Web Advisor earlier. Under student tools, there's also the student forms. So I'm going to click on that link. If you are a new student and you've never logged into this before, your first step is to click forgot username or password. You'll follow the steps there by entering your student email account to get a reset link. Once you get the reset link, you will set up a password and then you'll come back and log in. Your login will always be your lowercase letter C, the same as Web Advisor, lowercase c, and your 7-digit ID. So I'm going to log in as me. Make sure I can remember my password. Oh, no. Okay. Y'all log in with that. As staff, I log in with my name. I forgot. Okay. All right. So once you are on your eTreeve account, and if you have trouble logging in, you can get with the registration office, you can get with advising, we'll help you get logged in. It's going to take you to your inbox. I immediately clicked on the forms. So so you don't see, anything that's in my folder right now, because y'all don't want to see that. So once you're in forms, it's searchable. So you see there's a search box here. So you can go to just start typing registration. So I just had to type in 3 letters there, and you'll see it says Texas and distance learning registration. So this is the form you would fill out for any campus or online class as a Texas student. Once you click on it, it's going to populate your information in the forms. I'm not a student, so it's not going to. And then you're going to fill out anything. Well, all it did was list my name. You're going to fill out anything that it doesn't. So when you go down here, you're going to go through these student schedule options the same, one by one, same how they're ordered. So let's just say the student's wanting to register for fall. Once you click your term, we're going to pick something. We'll say distance learning, but you've got all the options here for all of our classroom locations in Texas and distance learning. So then we'll just say it's that history class that we were talking about earlier. So I'm going to scroll down to, let's see, a little too far. So we'll do history 1301. Once you select that, it's going to pull up all of the available distance learning classes for fall for this course. So you're going to be able to see all of the sections. So it's going to have the start and end date here. It's not in any sort of order. You can see it's kind of, it goes back and forth. So, but this is everything that's open at the time that you've selected the form. So we'll just choose this. We'll just choose this 8-week class that starts in August. So once you fill out all of the information, you click the add course for registration, and it's going to put it in here. Once you do that, that's the information. This was all just searching. This is the information that's going to get sent on the form to the records office. So you can read over this information. It's just telling you how to remove a class if you find something, and the disclaimer about RevAdvisor registration. It's not live, so it is contingent on the seat still being there, but the records office will contact you if you need to. You can indicate any comments as needed, and then you select where it needs to go. If you're here in Texas, you can always select it to go to the Central Records Office, Central Records Registration, and then simply hit submit. Once you do that, it will go to their office. If they have anything that they need to get with you on about the form, they will contact you. And that's simply how you submit that over. So without me having to stop sharing my screen, Mariceli, is there a way you can, let me see if I can pull up the chat here. Here we go. All right. So there were some other questions. Oh, school ID, great question. You can make an appointment to get your ID made. You can email the admissions office. So that's admissions@ctcd.edu to get your school ID, and they will work with you on that. There's a question specifically about the fall plan affecting students already enrolled in the nursing program. So if you're already a current student in the nursing program, I highly encourage you to get with the program office, the actual nursing office. I'll show you their webpage. They will be, when I mentioned that earlier, it might have been too fast, but the Allied Health courses, which is where the nursing program falls under, they're going to be coming in for their hands-on components and stuff. There may still be some online classwork, but you will be able out on campus to do the hands-on components. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you, if you have more specific questions than that, I would highly encourage you this right now before fall starts to reach out to them. So under these tabs here, you can go from the academics page and go to instructional departments, click on more resources, and scroll down within the pages to nursing. And you can get their contact information. They probably have some stuff posted here that would answer some questions for you. And then of course their contact page is here. So definitely encourage you to reach out to their office about what fall will look like for those classes, for sure. Okay, that was the last question that we had so far. Is anything else? I'm gonna just kind of leave it open for questions at this point. Let me look at my notes, make sure I kind of covered everything that I wanted to talk about. Really want to encourage, you're not going to be able to walk in right now. So I'm going to mention that again. I know a lot of students are used to walking in to our campus and getting, taken care of as they walk in. That won't be able to happen. So if you come up to a building and you're needing advising or you're needing financial aid, they're going to let you know how to schedule an appointment if you are not already on the books for that day. And of course, they're going to provide you any information that that they can give you. They're just not going to be able to let you in to meet with them without the appointment. Again, I'm going to mention the fall plan right now is to have those blended courses on campus. So you'll be coming into the classroom. And again, more specifics about wearing a mask. The 6 feet of separation is going to stand. So every class will be kind of different, whether 6 feet can be maintained. So that's going to be very specific to your class and to the type of course that it is. So you will get that information from your instructor when you come on campus. Bring a mask, because in any common areas or when you're unable to maintain the 6 feet of separation, you will need to have that mask to wear. But each instructor will be letting you know what's required in their classroom. But that blended component, so I'm going to stress again, you're going to have that blended Blackboard component to your classes as you're taking them. And then going straight online after Thanksgiving. So once the Thanksgiving break hits, everybody will move to the remote online instruction to finish out the semester. Any other questions that have come in, Mariceli? I'm not seeing anything else in the chat. So if you needed to chime in, feel free to chime in and let me know. All right. Well, I thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, I'm just gonna, again, current students is a great place to start. I always click on the more resources so you can see everything that we have here. So, you know, if you have any questions about any of these offices, you can always click on their links here. I'm going to show you one. Some students might be curious about this. So like the graduation office, which is in building 119, which is now the enrollment center, calling it by the new name. So for example, if you go there, you can see their live chat there, their email, and they are not going to be taking appointments, but if they needed to help you, they're going to help you through these resources here and things like that. So I just wanted to point out that's another tool that, you know, students need. You know, if you finished up a program or you're getting near to completion and you needed to contact the graduation office, I wanted to mention that's a good one. All right. Is there anything else that came in that time frame, Mariceli? Other than that, I think I've covered my talking points, so I'm gonna turn it over to you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ava, for helping us out here. I have no other questions so far.
Okay.
That have come in. That's been a lot of really good information. Hopefully, students, current and prospective students, will now have a better idea as to what to expect and how to get a hold of admissions, advising, and financial aid and testing, and a lot of the other departments and where to find the information. So we're really excited that we're being able to communicate. We had some really great questions that I think will help other students. And so thank you to all those that actually asked the questions. And then we shall be, we'll be seeing you next week. Next week, we'll be talking about virtual campus tours. So please be on the lookout for that. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to contact somebody. As we mentioned before, thank you, and we'll see everybody soon.